Now, Israeli music has evolved a lot in the last 70 years, which is to be expected considering a new amalgam culture that would eventually be known as Saba was forming right alongside it. Well, my next guest is an Israeli rock singer and actor known simply as Adam, and is here today to tell us more both about his work and his experiences in Israel in the Israeli music scene. Thank you so much for coming in. It's a pleasure to have you.
Oh, thank you. Nice to be here.
Thank you.
Speak slowly.
I will speak slowly. I will speak definitely slowly with you. So my first thing...
No, it's okay.
So my first...
Speak as fast as you want.
So my first question for you, Adam, is, tell me about what it has been like working in the Israeli music scene for as long as you have. I mean, this is your first album, I think you told me, and it was 30 years ago.
Yeah, particularly this album was not produced on disc since '87. Wow. It was only on plastic, on vinyl. It was on tapes and plastic. Now, 30 years after, we took out a very, how do you say it, edition, but it's a...
It's like remastered?
Yeah, but we don't sell it to public. It's only Bellet,
Oh, like the subscribers, the main fans.
Yeah, only 300 copies of this.
Wow, limited
Yes,
offer.
limited,
there
that's
we go,
it, limited edition. And it's nice because when I started my career at 86, I was crossing between the analog style into the digital style. This album was completely analog.
And then album number 2 is already digital?
It was half analog, and then I went into the digital music life to hold this one in a small size. It's nice because usually it was like quite big, and it's coming together with 30 years for this album, and we're going to celebrate it on the 30th of July on Zappa Club, Tel Aviv. We take all the songs of this album and probably some more hits because my career didn't start and ended with this album. I had some more after, another 7 albums.
Yeah, which I want to get to, by the way. I want to talk about that a little bit. Oh, okay. So, so like you just said, you have 7 studio albums, this being your first. And I hear, you told me earlier you did one with Kabbalah, with the Kabbalah Center in California. Can you tell me a little bit about that experience?
The Kabbalah are sitting in LA. They had an idea how to send the Kabbalah understanding into the world, and they decided to do it by music. And they were looking for a singer, and they decided it can't be an American singer because the Kabbalah is written in Old Aramaic, and it would be quite difficult to an American singer to do it, and they were looking for an Israeli singer to do it. And fortunately, for me, they picked me. The supervisor.
So you did a whole album in Aramaic.
The whole album. It was like hell. It was more difficult than this interview, I must say. 10 chapters from the Zohar.
Wow.
They produced it and they wrote it. The music that it was written was totally pop. Let's say the music supervisor of the album was Madonna.
Wow.
Yes, I even drank coffee with her while she was listening to the work, and that was my 5th album. It was a great pleasure working there, recording there. And afterward I had another 2, totally 7 albums, which is quite a lot for my years.
So now I want to get back to your anniversary concert, which, as you said, is at the end of this month on the 30th. On the 30th of July at the Zappa Club in Herzliya. And it's 30 years celebration of this album.
Yeah, I mean, not only this album. Because it will be quite a short show, only 9 tracks that will hold about 50 minutes.
Sure, but it's to celebrate kind of
we're
that
celebrating
that
this together with another few of my hits from the other albums. And what is very, I must say, unique, to my opinion, in the show, that when I decided, sometime I had to decide what kind of musical production I want to do for this show. And then I decided that I'm not changing anything. I'm not going to be one of those artists that is doing this show 30 years after and is like thinking, okay, let's take it in a different way.
Right.
Let's produce it differently. Let's arrange it. I've decided that I take the originals and I do it as they are. I mean, it's the same key.
Do what everybody has always loved.
If you come to the show, you almost have the same experience as listening to this. The singer is a bit older. The hair is different, as you can see.
The hair's a little bit different.
It's like, yeah, I mean, this.
Well, I hate to cut you off, I really do, but I would love to actually now turn to a hit song from this very album right now, called Ein Motza.
Quite a big hit.
משוטט ברחוב במתח, קר בכל חלון. נערות עומדות בפתח, בעיני נאון. עיר קורצת, עיר גוססת, מפרה עצה, אין מוצא, לא זזים מכאן, אין מוצא.
So you can catch that song and many other incredible ones right here on this album, Sod, or Secret. And as we discussed, there's 6 other studio albums. They're all each as amazing as the last.